Gee, you're eating too loud. Can you not eat now and not breathe too? You're making sounds. And I don't like sounds now. Also, get up in a way that your pants won't make noises because they do. Hey darlings, today I will be talking about sensory overload experienced by ADHD people. You might also hear the term sensory processing disorder slash hypersensitivity. Its symptoms can coexist with ADHD, and up to 60% of ADHD people can experience sensory overload. Be aware that SPD is not the same as ADHD even if we share common reactions. I'm gonna break down a few of the sensations to understand it better. Let's start with the visual stimuli. Super bright days make me sick, literally. I'm not talking about sunny days, but when there is a cloudy day and the sky is light grayish, whitish, it's when it's the worst. It's just too freaking bright. You'll see me wearing sunglasses the whole year. Some might think, oh, look at her. She thinks she's so cool in those sunglasses. Man, let me live. It's just too annoying inside. Have you ever seen Flashdance? After seeing it, I noticed that the title has a spoiler. Flashes. Fucking flashes. Let's take Hulk as an example. Anger was his trigger to change into a huge green dude who was ready to destroy everything. Damn. When it comes to flashing, I'm the most irritated person in the world. I'm anti-flashing Hulk, but I wouldn't change into a green creature. I hate green. I remember when I was a kid, my parents thought it was the greatest idea to paint my room green because it's a color that calms people down. Freaking bullshit. I was looking at those walls and I hated every second of it. My room was green for about 10 years, so you can feel my pain. Another thing is the screen. If you give me your phone or laptop to work on, don't be surprised that the very first thing I'm going to do is to go to the screen settings and change them. I just can't focus when it has the wrong brightness level. In my last job, I had this situation when we received our laptops. We're supposed to do some e-learning, but what did I do? I was far into the settings, changing brightness, appearance to dark, highlights to dark purple, wallpaper. The HR dude asked me if I was serious. Well, yes. How can I read that long and boring e-learning content that I will skip anyway without a proper setup? Let's jump to the sensitivity to sound. Here I think I might be on both sides. I am looking for it and avoiding it, but irritable sounds are the worst to me of all the senses. I really can't stand people who eat with their mouth open, or have clicking jaws, or swallow loudly, or just make any sound. Buzzing electronics? I'm gonna break them. In my mind, of course. I just can't concentrate at all, and it makes me ask people to stop. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I feel more like yelling at them than kindly asking. I think this is why I prefer to have my meals alone. I have more control of the sounds around me. I had this situation when I abruptly broke the conversation to say, can you swallow first because you're making a sound? Imagine a face of a neurotypical person now. That's the thing. People sensible to sounds will also register ones that others cannot. Here, electronic is a perfect example. Buzzing devices, I hear them and I have an urgent need finding out which one and how to make it not buzz anymore. And you know what is the worst? Electrical outlets. Yes, they make a sound when they are not properly connected. But because I'm not good with technical issues, I will look for a person who can fix it. Of course, they won't hear it, but I'll make them believe. The same amount of irritation I'm receiving from a crowd or constant sounds. When I'm in the office or just out, I will always have my headphones on to play my favorite music. Otherwise, I would be easily overwhelmed and tired. What about sounds I do like? In my head, sounds are like you love them or hate them. I think that music is my safe place and I can't imagine my life without it. I start my day with music, work with it, relax or rest. When I'm home alone, I'll totally blast it. What if I can't listen to music? Well, darling, I'm ADHD. I'll play it in my head anyway. Another sound I absolutely adore is a playlist with white noise like the cosmos. It helps to reduce my anxiety and irritation. It is just really relaxing after a long day. And I owe my latest discovery to my friend, bilateral music. Have you ever tried? It's a kind of music that alternates between your right and left earphones. To me, it feels like it's cuddling my brain and petting it. It's so soothing. Bilateral music is supposed to help with focus, and I often use it while working or preparing my project. I also created a playlist for you to try it using popular songs that are using this effect. You'll find it under a playlist for darlings on Spotify and iTunes. I'll try to add new songs there, so wait for an update. Maybe next year. I'm gonna proceed and talk about sensitivity to scents. It will be quick because I guess it's really simple to me. I have this irrational fear that I'm stinky. Really. Once I was on a bus and I noticed that there was a person that didn't smell too good. What did my brain do then? Natalie, it's your smell. You fucking stink. And they'll feel it. It's your fucking smell. And what did I do? I fucking believed it. I have that quirk that makes me sniff myself from time to time, making sure I'm just not smelly. Unpleasant smells, I will avoid them at all costs. I won't eat food that smells bad, that's why I will sniff food before eating it. Not to enjoy the smell, oh no, but to make sure it's not bad. Good smells, on the other hand, are stimulating and addictive. I can spend hours just sniffing my favorite candle, be attached to one perfume, or sniff other people. Yes, sometimes people smell so good that you just want to stand close to them to sniff them secretly. Admit you are doing that. I know you do. Above it all, have you ever put your nose in your cat's belly? Gee, this is the best smell ever. So next, is a handshake almost tolerable to you, but hugs are a no-no zone? I noticed that everything depends. First, on who is touching me, and second, on my emotional state. Sometimes when I'm at a party and I'm meeting new people, they try to hug me as they do with my friends, but every freaking time it will make me step back once they approach me. It always creates confusion, but I don't know you, I won't do it, and I'll communicate that I prefer a handshake. And you, my darling, if you don't feel comfortable with touch, please don't force yourself to do it. You have the right to set down boundaries and communicate it out loud. It's also okay to tell people simply, please, ask me before you'd like to hug me. Here I want to appreciate all of you who are asking before making a step. You're great. Thank you. You are doing a great thing, trust me, by just a simple question. So when do I feel comfortable with a touch? It will happen only with people I trust. When I'm mentally low, I'll actually seek a hug from my beloved people. If you are searching for an instant death, tickle me. It triggers anxiety in my brain, so my automatic reaction to tickles is fighting back. And it's not any different, so anytime you'll try to tickle me, even if you've tried it before, I will still be fighting back, trust me. Touch sensibility is not only about our human relations. Are you wearing sweatpants right now because jeans are driving you crazy? Do you own 20 white t-shirts that are basically the same? Seamless socks? I feel you. Certain fabrics just don't work with me. I might handle them for a little bit, but after it will immediately make me struggle and I will have the impression that my skin is burning. The last example is about oral sensations. I bet you have chewed pens or clothes that have holes because you stretched them out. Sometimes I catch myself while I'm biting my hand. I just need oral stimulation to calm myself down or focus, so if I don't have any non-edible objects around me, it seems that my own hand is the best option. I'll also mildly bite the inner side of my cheeks or my lips. My tongue will touch the roof of my mouth from time to time or move from one side to the other, of course with my mouth closed. I don't look like Mr. Bean then, I promise. There was that time when I had to reach out to my friend, who is a speech pathologist, to help me with my problems. You see, I was wearing braces and it left me with some small difficulties with making sounds. After she sent me my set of exercises, I found that it brought me lots of joy because I had to train both my tongue and my mouth. Actually, some of them I'm still using to warm up before recording. I also enjoy food with different textures. I like crunchy stuff or spicy and sour. And also cold drinks. I will drink them as fast as I can so I'll feel numb. I read that some people are using special toys to chew that are designed for SPD people. I've never tried it, but if you did, I'd like to know if it helps. I'm really curious right now. Feel free to text me on my Instagram at nat.thornton and share the details with me. When I'm experiencing my sensory overload, I'm highly irritated and it takes my focus and sanity away. When preparing for this episode, I had a few comments in a file. Apple Pages just got crazy and changed color patterns to bright orange over a black background, which actually drove me crazy. I felt like my brain was just twisting and turning upside down just by looking at it. Really. At the same time, I was mad, ranting, and swearing. And believe me, when I'm starting to swear, I'm not the best person in the world. And after all, I laughed at myself because I was working on an episode that included my difficulties with visuals. I think it took me around 20 minutes to finally open the file again and slowly fix it. This is how powerful it is, how overwhelming sensory overload is. I can recall the times that I wasn't aware of it and I could easily yell at people and confuse them with my outbursts. Today I'm rather investing in communication and trying to find ways to comfort myself. Sometimes this means saying, "You might not understand what is happening, but please just leave me alone for a moment." Because the worst thing to me is when someone will try to help me while inadvertently making it worse. If you're seeking advice here, I can tell you what works for me because you see, I'm not a therapist. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what works for me because this is what I actually tried, what took me time to find out, and it means also that it doesn't have to work for you. So you have to be prepared for it. First, I need to stay away from the source of stimulation for a moment. Even if it's just a few minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes, just to calm myself down and collect my mind. Then I will think about how to deal with it. I'll figure it out if it's something I can change now or will be there and is out of my control. It's easy if I can change it, right? But when I can't control the situation, I will just search for something to redirect my attention. Like when it's something on my skin, I'll try to look away. Like you have this situation that you have to give a sample of your blood, right? And it's not a pleasant sensation to feel the needle. So then I will just look away, look at the colors of the sky, look or posters, whatever that will just gain my attention. And also where there are unpleasant sounds that I can't switch off. I would just put my earphones on and I would try to calm myself by touching my hands. Because it's like fighting with the wind. I have to accept the fact I can't control it, so I will search for other stimuli to minimize the unpleasant sensation. Besides, to feel better, I also found my comfortable fabrics. I'm not forcing myself to eat food I don't like, and I'm always keeping a pair of sunglasses in my backpack. If you haven't found your safe methods, don't be afraid to experiment a little bit or start by talking with your therapist. Remember that it's about your comfort. Please don't give up if one thing won't work. There's always another way. With these words, we are reaching the end of this episode. I hope that you know that you are not alone, or you actually discovered that, hey, it sounds just like me. Let's look it up. Thanks for listening.